What's going on, guys? It's Brandon. So some progress has been made due to these videos and things that have been put up today. GM coincidentally, I believe, had a board meeting in the department where I originally called, the Corvette Concierge department. So the Corvette Concierge is now aware of what's going on with the 2025 3000 status ZR1s. And so first and foremost, the dealer got back to me and they said that the dealer rep would not put it in writing that GM is ordering this to occur. So just as I suspected, they wouldn't put it in writing, which is unbelievable. And so I wrote out an email even and gave it to the dealer. I said, forward that to the GM, General Motors. And if General Motors doesn't respond, I don't hold you guys accountable at the dealer level. I realize it's GM. So we went round and round with the dealer. The dealer, and I'm not complaining. They did a fantastic job given the circumstance. They were told last night late that they had to get this all ordered, and they wanted to know, do I want the 2026 or am I passing on the 2026 order? Because see, I was concerned to put my name on the 2026 because I don't want General Motors to be able to turn around and say, well, you ordered the 2026. That's what you wanted. No, it's not what I wanted. I wanted the 2025. Why don't you just carry my 2025 order across? And I realize you have to reorder it because there's different options available and so on and so forth, but they should at least carry it across to a new allocation and then say it's been carried. You're not destroying the 2025 allocation. We already did at GM because we're the ones who ordered it. They won't take that responsibility. They're making it out like we're a bunch of Fruit Loops ordering more cars and more years, and that it was something that we wanted to do. So anyway, sorry, it's really hot in here. I got to get the AC going or whatever, but let's see here. So I called back the Corvette Concierge and talked to the exact same girl I talked to this morning. She said she was the same girl who talked to me this morning. She was really helpful. She read off a bunch of information to me that General Motors officially gave her, in her department now to inform customers. So long story short, it's, the price is not guaranteed. There's no price lock guarantee occurring. And it's just kind of like a question and answer script that she was provided. And I asked her if I could record the phone call and record our conversation. She said, sure. So I have it all recorded. I'm not going to publish it up on YouTube because, she was cool. She reads everything off to me. She says, Brandon, we didn't know about this. And I said, well, here's the thing, my dealer didn't know about it either. And then all of a sudden I have to take off work today. I can't get any work done today. All that I've done all day long is this, guys. I have to typed out documents to the dealership because they're worried I'm going to sue them, which is a valid concern. I said, no, guys, I'm not after you. General Motors is the one who raised the price. Okay, well, can we get that in writing that you're not after us? So I had to type that out. They had to look it over, send it to their lawyers, And my whole day has been consumed with this. Because what it all boils down to, and I ended up talking to another girl after Candace, I ended up getting another girl, she transferred me somewhere else. I said, I just want to have a thorough complaint documented within GM that I had a 3,000 order status. It's a contract. It should be price locked. If GM doesn't price lock it, this isn't the first time I've had to take GM to small claims court. I'll happily do it again. Not happily, but I'm more than capable to do it again. I'm going to tell you guys what my gut read is on things. You guys know I'm kind of good at reading people and knowing what's going on. The attitude that I got later today, just before I'm making this video, from these two employees at GM is completely different than the attitude that I was receiving earlier, being transposed to me by the dealership of what the dealer rep. So I think the GM knows that they're on a spot. I think the GM knows that I'm going to legally publicize when I win my, small claims case for $10,000 or whatever it is I go after him for, whatever the amount is that I end up going after him for, depending on the state that I choose to go after him in. I think that GM is going, this is genuinely my gut read on this, I think that GM is going to double back now and offer the price protection, because I think that it's going to be a domino effect for them if they don't. I think that, between me and then a couple other people, it's going to circulate, and then it's going to make me the hero who set the precedence and started this mess. And even if they settle with me prior to court, and I make videos ahead of time saying the only way I'm going to settle with GM is if they pay me this full amount, so when I make a future video that I've settled with GM and I'm fully satisfied, let it be, you guys can kind of know what happened, okay? I'm legally allowed to do that. So I think that General Motors knows the writing's on the wall, that this is going to snowball. So shame on them for being liars on 2 occasions. One, that the 2025 ZR1 is ready, and that they're going to build 300 2025 ZR1s. First lie that we all knew was a lie. I knew it was a lie. I knew it was going to happen. They shouldn't even have built the first one. They should have all been 2026s. And then the new interior should have been 2026 and a half. And they should have called it the 1064 SS. They should have done the surprise. Everything that we said. Anyway, the point is this. They lied about there being 300 2025s built. They're not building those, okay? And they are contract breaching customers. They're telling, it's in writing right now with the General Motors concierge script, the girls and guys who work in that department, they are to tell you that it is not price protected. If it was price protected, they would be bragging about that, okay? It would be a brag point. Sir, it's a 2026, you're getting everything with the price protection, you're coming out ahead, you're very lucky. They're not saying that. They're saying price is to be determined and it will not be price protected, okay? So that's the current stance. I think within the next several days, you're gonna get an official announcement from General Motors that they are price protected. Otherwise, General Motors is gonna get more famous for me having to sue them again. It's real simple, guys. This is so stupid. Hi, Wendy Miller. How's your day going? As good as mine. I had to take off all day because you guys' decisions you make at General Motors are so bad. And you guys are going to get sued soon unless you start making good decisions, Wendy. Maybe that's not your department. So we'll just talk to Mark Royce. Hi, Mark Royce. How you doing, buddy? More great decisions. Keep up the great work. So anyway, that's what's going on. But think about this, guys. The dealer rep refused to put it in writing that they're the ones telling the dealerships. So when I said that General Motors had a thought out scheme of how they were going to try to do this and defend themselves in the courtroom where it's never in writing that it's the dealers, and then they tell the dealers, maybe they tell the dealers, maybe the dealers come up with this on their own accord, you need to sign something that you're not going to pursue us, Brandon. Okay, so I signed that. And then what? Then the dealer, then General Motors can say, oh, well, it wasn't us who did this. It was the dealer who did this. We had no idea they were doing this. But I think I've got enough evidence now I feel comfortable that I've got enough evidence based on the fact that there was just a big meeting in the Corvette Concierge department. And I guarantee I was the star of the show. They probably watch my YouTube videos. They're probably watching this one as we speak. The fact that they acknowledge that this is GM protocol, that's the key. So now I've got that. I've got it on a phone call, which Candace and the other girl, whatever her name was, gave me permission to record. Therefore, I've got them. I don't care if the dealer rep wants to be shady as fuck. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not pleased with his behavior that he wouldn't put it in writing that he's the one ordering it. Like how hard it is just to say, yeah, it's a General Motors policy. They had a scheme, guys. It's very obvious that they had a scheme. They had intent to defraud us out of money. They had intent to breach contract and ask more money for $3,000 for a 3,000 status order on a car. They had a scheme planned out, and their scheme just got foiled. So those of you saying, you're wrong about everything, blah, 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 blah. When are you going to do anything for the Corvette community? Everybody at 3,000 status with a ZR1, you're welcome. You're probably going to get your car a lot cheaper than the rest. See ya.